This is Tea or Coffee, where random individuals sit on a couch and tell a story completely of their own choosing.
Like
Oh,
start
yeah,
to sit
that's
down
true.
and chat. I think just get like a few different
Yeah, that's cool.
variations.
We've done this to show the colors of life and prove that the mundane does not exist.
Okay, do I need to say like, hi, my name is Sarah? Okay, I'll do that. Okay, so my name is Sarah and I dated my boss's boyfriend. So from the beginning, I started working at this IT company. The boss, the recruitment like manager, that lady, like she seemed like okay, maybe a bit like odd, but okay. And I came back to work like after the holidays and things had gotten really weird. And there was this like really weird tension. And I was like, okay, I don't know what's happening. So my boss had this boyfriend. He was working with us as well. And they've been dating for like maybe like 2 years or a year and a half, something like that. And they were engaged. But it was like, no, but it was like, it's like one of those engagements that you know those people are not going to get married, okay?
You dated your boss's fiance.
No. When I met him first, I was like, okay, this is like an attractive guy. But like, you kind of like, he's your boss's boyfriend. So you kind of like put him in the box and the box is like off limits. So the vibe was really weird. And I was like, what is happening? I don't know what's happening. I noticed that my boss is like really like weird towards me, especially. So one day I see two of the girls that I worked with went like out of the office and came back with like luggage and like clothes and stuff, and I figured like, oh, she called them and asked them to help her with like just getting her things out of her fiance's flat, so maybe they broke up. I was getting my nails done. This guy, like her fiance, calls me. He's like, well, how are things at the office? Is it weird with you guys, like in the team and stuff? And I'm like, yeah, mate, it's really freaking weird. Can I curse on this? Oh, it's really fucking weird. And by this point, I'm like, okay, I want to know. Like, I want to know the drama now. He's like, okay, so she was pregnant. And I'm like, okay. And he was like, well, it wasn't planned, but it's not like we were being safe or anything. And I'm like, okay, and he was like, yeah, but I was happy that she was pregnant, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, yeah, she started having like these even worse tantrums and like threw stuff at me. And I told her, like, okay, I'm gonna be the father of the baby and stuff, but I don't wanna be with you anymore. And she flipped out, of course, because like, obviously, who wouldn't? She decided to get the abortion. And I was like, okay. I understand why the vibe is so weird right now. He's like, yeah, I just wanted to see like how are things. And like some of your colleagues are texting me and calling me a murderer. So at this point, she's not really coming to the office. And we haven't said anything to each other, but we don't speak. Like she's a bit more aggressive, but I'm just like, I'm out of the drama. Yeah, towards me, like, I don't know. Well, until at that moment, I don't know. I went to Malta because my friend who I worked with had left that company and moved to Malta. And she sees me like texting that guy all the time. And she's like, who are you texting? I'm like, oh, you know, the guy. And I'm like, no, but look, like it's friendly stuff. And she's like, this is not okay. I mean, he probably likes you. And I'm like, do you think? So I get back from Malta and I go out with one of my best friends, and we're like already drinking. She's like, yeah, you have to go for it, blah blah blah, you need to do something. And I'm like, okay, let's go out and I'm gonna invite him and let's see what happens. And we go to this club, we invite him, he comes, and eventually we kiss. And I'm like, okay, maybe he likes me.
Maybe it was a friendly kiss.
We go out. I'm like, okay, let's go out for brunch. And it's me, him, and two of my friends, but they're dating, so it's kind of like a double date. And I'm thinking like, okay, I need to find a really low-key place, somewhere where nobody from the office could see us. And I picked one of the worst places in the world. I didn't realize that my boss's flat is near that park. And we walk around in the park, you know, it's nice. And we don't do anything, like we're not holding hands or like kissing or anything.
I would think you'd be like making out in the bushes usually.
Usually. What are parks for, right? He like gets a notification on his phone, looks at his phone like terrified, like really freaked out. I'm like, what is happening? And he just shows me these like 4 random pictures of us walking in the park that she sent him. And I'm like, Oh my god, this is such a Gossip Girl situation. Like, how could that happen? She wrote something like you're dead to me or something to him, and then for me like not to even bother show up at work tomorrow. And I was like, I'm gonna be at work tomorrow. So I go to work, I go into the office, and I'm like, hey, good morning. She's not there, of course, because it's like 10 o'clock. People are looking at me like this, like nothing really happened. Like she didn't say anything to me. She didn't show up at work that day, and she took a sick leave for a week. At this point, I didn't really know if I like him that much, but I felt like she already thinks like I'm sleeping with him and dating him. Might as well actually do it. Like once you kill a cow, you gotta make a burger, you know? And she started, of course, telling everybody, and he was like, oh, he left me pregnant because of her. He told me, like, afterwards, he was like, yeah, she's always been jealous of you. When I gave my notice, I wrote this, like, huge email with, like, everything that she's been doing wrong. Nothing really happened because it was, I don't know, there was this, like, protective magic over her because she was, like, doing really weird stuff and nobody acknowledged them. Like nobody told her anything or told her off. I dated him for like, I don't know, maybe like a month and a half. Like I didn't really want to date him, but I did it because like everybody, yeah, out of spite, yeah. But he, at least he was hot. I mean,
Thank you so much for that story.
you're welcome.
Here, you can get it.
Okay, are we doing something else?